Hi, this is Everett Studio. Welcome to my studio. And this is right now. I'm going to do simply drawing with Everett. Today, I'm going to do another drawing. And what I thought I'd do, I've been doing skies and so forth. I thought what I'm going to do today is going to draw. I'm going to draw a cloud, a nice big old cloud, and just go through the features that I like to draw, and also give you some hints on how to do it. So let's go to my drawing table and let me get started. Okay, well, there's a nice big old cloud up in the sky right there. And I may take out some of this part over here. I like this big cumulus part here, the cumulus cloud, and a little one over here. So, but this section over here, again, I can modify it as I go along. So let's get started. I got a 2B pencil and a 4B pencil, and so what I'm going to start here with a two. I'm going to do an outline first of all with a 2B, and I'm going to start here. I'm going to start here drawing this section right in here. And so I'll just start with get an outline. Start with the outline, and I'm going to go down here and kind of just take this section out, the one that's in shadow, and just kind of bring it down. Base of the cloud. And over here on the side over here, I'm going to capture this. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. I want to get a little more shape to this big cloud. I'll bring it in here and come down, and then I'll bring in some of this information over here. So I'll kind of modify that a little bit. Okay, then underneath is going to be the ocean. So we'll just put a horizon line right across here. Okay, so when I get started, now I'm going to take the. I'm going to go right into shading. I'm not going to mess around because the cloud is white. So what I'm going to do now is just take. This is a sketch and wash pencil, which I can use. And what I'm going to do first of all, I'm going to go and build the outside edge, which is the sky. The blue sky. So what I'm going to do, and very important, most important thing about clouds is the edges. And when you look at a cloud, you're going to see different shapes and so forth. You're going to find lost and found edges. You're going to have light and dark edges. And so you just kind of model it the best way you can of what you see. And then you can go along and make different changes to it as you go. But this cumulus cloud has some like a circle, has a rounded edges. Some are bigger and smaller. Then I get that shape. I'm just going to use the sketch and wash pencil to get that nice dark background in here. Right behind that, that'll give me the edge of the cloud, and that's really going to make it really nice. Then get this section over here, and I can build the edge. Now I'm drawing this section up in here. And I'm modifying it as I go along. I can make it whatever shape I want. I got the general shape that I like. Come down and it's come down here, and it goes into another area. You can see layers of cloud. It's not just one layer. There's multiple layers in there, and that's what holds it together as a cloud. The moisture is collected there, and it's moisture, and it makes a beautiful. And the sun shining on it gives you the glow, and the shadows and so forth are beautiful. Just love to draw clouds. So you get out there someday with pencil and paper, and when you get a nice cloud to look at, or take some pictures of it real quick, and you'll find some interesting shapes to draw. And it's a lot of fun. So I'm just getting that. I'm just capturing. I'm simplifying it a little bit over here too. Just getting a little, cutting it out. I don't want it as big as this one over here. I'll make it a little bit smaller, and maybe make it a different little shape too. I'll give it a little character. So I'm using parts of it, but I'm not going to draw it just like the photograph. I'm not copying the photograph. The photograph is a reference. And it gives me an inspiration. It gives me an idea of what shapes I need to put in, but I'm not I'm not tied down to the photograph. I can come up with whatever I want. Over here, I can kind of let this kind of fall over to the edge. And underneath, I'm going to have sky behind. This is the horizon. This is the edge of the water line. And I'm going to have a little rolling surf here. Water's going to have waves to it. Like irregular. Some waves are larger than others. But just to get the idea, give the impression of what you're doing. That's all we want to do. That's all we want to capture. Capture the impression. Okay. Now, as we get into the cloud itself, now it's very important to look at structure. Now we can see here. You can see here. There's shadows inside. So what I do, I pick a shape. And I just start following that along, and it's irregular. Come up with a shape. It gives you the shape of the internal part of the cloud. See the separation. You can see the separation of the areas of the cloud. See the separation. Some of these shadows are a little darker than others. As we come down to the bottom base of the cloud, there's a lot more shadow because it's the silhouette, the outside edge. But down at the bottom, it starts to get a little bit darker at the base of the cloud. But the edge of the cloud, the silhouette of the cloud is going to be white because that's where the sun is hitting the cloud shape, and it's highlighting that edge. But the inside, the internal part of the cloud is all in shadow. It's got little, I call them little modules, little parts of the cloud that are in shadow. Okay, now I'm going to take, I just took the Sketch and Wash pencil. Now I'm going to take the water pen and go in now. And this is going to give me the real darks now that I want to look at. This will really darken up. And here I can clean up the edge a little bit. I can modify the edge and give me a nice variety of shapes. Now this is the outer edge. The outer edge is going to be the darkest against the sky. The outer edge between the sky shape, sky color, and the cloud. The cloud is white. The edge of the cloud is white, pure white, and that's the color of water in light. So what I'm doing now, I'm just emphasizing that edge. And that's the most important part of the cloud, is the shape of it. And this may just be a start. When you get started and get the edge started, and then you can always come back in, do a little more shaping. But at least if you're doing this outdoors, following the clouds, unless if the wind's blowing, it's going to be hard. The cloud changes so quickly. But if you get a nice stable cloud, take a quick picture so you have a good sketch, a good reference. But then try to also memorize what you see, and then do a quick sketch of what you saw. And the more you do that, the more practice you do, the better you'll get at it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And there's so much variety in the sky, different shapes. And you'll find some color too. I mean, a color of light, you're going to have the glare off of the light. It's going to show different colors. It's going to reflect colors from surrounding areas. Atmosphere will have a different color to it depending on the rest of the sky. Alright, so I'm just going to get that, and down here, let's just fade this off here at the side, doesn't matter. And underneath, I'm going to get a little bit darker underneath here for the ocean area. This is horizon. And the water, of course, is going to have reflection. The sun's reflecting all that, so that's why you're going to have lights and darks in the water. And this just shows movement. When you show the information of the waves, you're getting the movement in the water. So you got water in the sky, which is the moisture in the sky, which gives you the cloud formation, and the reflection of the sun off on the cloud and the shadows. Then you also got the shadows and reflection into the water from the sun. You're going to get light areas, which are highlights, and dark areas, which are the waveforms. There's a light and a dark section of the waves, lights and darks. And that's something else you can observe and also practice, is painting water. It's just a real simple case here of just getting a little idea of the bottom here. Okay, now we're going to go into the cloud. So what I'm going to do is make sure, I don't want my brush to be as wet, so I'll make sure it's clean, but I'm going to wipe out a lot of the extra water on a towel, paper towel, and here it's a terry cloth towel. And then I'm just going to go in here and just very carefully, just kind of, this will be a little bit lighter. There'll be some dark areas, especially in the center part. But as it goes out, it gradually gets lighter. So I'm just building up a shadow pattern here of sections of the cloud. As I said, as you get to the bottom of the cloud, it gets a little bit darker because it's in shadow. The bottom of the cloud, always a lot more. It's less light down in the bottom, so it's going to have a darker section down at the bottom of the cloud. We'll leave a little light area down at the bottom also, because separate the water from the cloud. Just a little bit of highlight on the water from behind the cloud. That sun is shining into the behind the cloud, so it's going to have a little, the horizon is going to have a little glow there along the edge of the water. So it won't be all dark there. There'll be some reflection from the sun onto the water surface. Okay. All right. Again, not trying to copy exactly what's the photograph. I'm not worried about that. It's just practicing getting the shapes. And here I'm going in and just kind of adding a little more softness to those. You don't want too many hard edges. You want a lot of soft edges here inside of the cloud. And I can take my blender now, my stump, and I can go in here and do a little bit of fine tuning with the blender. Adding a little more value, not value, but just moving that, making a little more shadows along the edge. The edge of it's going to be really white. You can see from the photograph, the edge of the clouds, the edge of those ripples in the clouds are pure white, and then the edges around it are much darker. Little valleys and grooves and so forth. Okay, all right. So what I did today was I just demonstrated on how to get yourself a good reference of cloud, and then you can modify it like I did here a little bit, and then start with the outline. Start with the outline of the cloud, get the shape, and then work on the inside a little bit. Look at the photograph. Maybe look at the cloud you're looking at outside, and then shade in some of the grooves and shapes inside the cloud. And then if you're looking across the water or land, but across the water you're going to have a horizon line, which is darker, and then you're going to have, as you come forward, you're going to have the ripples of the water with the shining of the sun on the water. It's going to have little ripples, darks and lights. So what that does is gives you a little idea of how to draw a cloud shape. This is a cumulus. There's lots of other cloud shapes out there, but I find the cumulus, the rain cloud, much more interesting shapes because they're big and billowing, and they're full of shapes to practice drawing on. All right, that concludes my demonstration today of drawing a cloud. Hope you enjoyed that. And you can see the photograph is all the way. There's the water on the bottom. This water here is pretty calm here. Here I had a little more a little more wind blowing down here, so I had a little more waves in my drawing than what the photograph has. But that's the idea. That's the job of an artist, is to improve on the situation, improve on the view, and use your own interpretation of what you see. Okay, let's go back to my main camera. Hi. All right, another fun day today at Everett's Watercolors with Simply Drawing with Everett. And I enjoyed that demonstration of drawing a cloud. I draw clouds a lot, and I paint clouds and drawing clouds. It's probably one of my favorite, besides trees and other things. I enjoy drawing a lot of things, but clouds is one of my favorite. And I've been looking at them this past week a little more seriously, because I've done a couple videos on cloud paintings, and you might find those interesting on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to this channel, you'll be notified of my next video, and also be able to see the other videos on my YouTube channel, everettswatercolors.com. And I got over 950 videos on there, so you'll find all kinds of subject matter, landscapes, seascapes, skyscapes, flowers, whatever you like. I think I've got on there. Animals. Anyway, I can't remember. I mean, there's almost 1,000 videos. All right. So until next week, you all stay safe, and please subscribe and give me a thumbs up and a like, and share with your friends. I'll be back again next Thursday with another demonstration on Simply Drawing with Everett. So until then, you all stay safe and stay cool. Stay hydrated. It's very hot outside. So until then, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.